Oh yeah, good call. I've got mine right here, and then I've got notes from work. Morning, everybody.
Hi. Yes.
I'm like, I hit the live button, and then I'm like, oh yes, let
We
me.
should acknowledge.
How's everybody doing this morning? What is everybody doing? How's your nano going? Mine is going like a trash can fire, so we love that.
I always like forget that Nano's going on because I did Nano once and it served its purpose. I didn't get 50,000, but I did complete the story by the time I finished. And it makes me wonder, I don't know how people are like, I have to get this to 50,000.
Yeah,
And
I
like,
tried.
because like, I'm like, that's the story. I got nothing more. Um, and everything, which is funny because when I started writing, I did nano because I did write 60,000 words in 28 days.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was just tracking it and everything, I wasn't even trying. I didn't even know about nano. I was just like tracking my progress
Yeah,
because I was so new. And then now I haven't done. I've done nano once, didn't win, even though in my mind I won because I completed the story. So either way,
yeah, I think so. Eva had to refresh. Ahoy. Um, we don't talk about
the
nano.
nano. Love it.
I'm actually thinking about doing a blog post and or social media rant about writing coaches and such. Ooh. I was telling Natalie that this morning I was up watching Twitter burn, and it felt like watching a car. I felt like a rubbernecker, really. I was like, you are these people have given years of their life to making this platform, and it's all just going up in smoke in front of the whole world, and that's sad.
Yeah.
That's
And
really
I'm starting to understand why people are like shutting their Twitter down because they're like, I don't support the work ethic. And it's not even work ethic. Like
yeah, no, it's like drive yourself to the point of like utter collapse
yeah.
for a job that obviously doesn't care about you anymore. So
Thank you.
let's do that. I don't know. And I mean, part of the reason that I use Twitter is um it's a really great way to follow publishing houses and other
Yes.
writers and agents. But I can't even see their tweets anymore because of the way that it's been curated.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Like
like,
I'm kind of leaning towards dropping Twitter, but then I also don't want to have to restart it if um
if things straighten
smooth
out.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing is like to me, like the people that I follow are kind of a directory.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, it's like I mean, it makes you want to go back to the days of just keeping everyone's email and joining newsletters. And I never thought that I would say that because I'm
Speaking of newsletters, on my website, natalielovebooks.com, you can join my newsletter. And I actually am in the middle of creating November's newsletter. Um, and it's pretty good because I have an entire, I say entire, but it's really like, it's a short little blurb about how emotional intelligence will make you a better writer.
ooh, the true facts.
Yeah, we had an
Kelly,
entire conversation about it and it sparked me and I was like, I'm putting this in my newsletter.
Kelly said, I keep seeing authors and writers use Twitter's fall as a soft reminder that newsletters are so important. Yeah, Discord and newsletters. I never really used Twitter, so I've only enjoyed the dumpster fire via memes and screenshot shares. Yeah, I mean the employees are tweeting about it, or ex-employees rather,
Yeah.
and then their former coworkers and all of that are responding to them, and it's just people are like, I worked at Twitter through the hardest years of my life, and where people supported me while I was sick, or this is where I built my family, like this is where I started my career, this was my dream job, and it's just like, oh, I can't.
Yeah, I like even the military and I'm trying to think of other places where it's like almost like where you hear stories of it being kind of toxic, like and it's salary based
Mhm.
locations really. In the military, it's supposed to be this is your job 24/7. But even they have try to like push a work-life balance because they've saw their numbers drop and they started trying to correct the mindset um, of that. I'm trying to think of some other careers because I know there's so many out there. I mean, even seeing the careers where it's like those crab fishermen type thing. And it's one thing. Okay, it's one thing. This ties into personalities. Like I'm a Type A personality. Did I work until 8 o'clock last night? Yes, I did. But it's because it was like, here's this task that I need to complete, and now it's going to free me up and make me a little bit like more sane this weekend because I'm not going to be sitting here dreading what I have to do on Monday because I already did it.
Right. Well, I mean, you have that give and take of where like today I need to do more work than I usually would in a day. Yeah. And I'm going to do that, but I can also maybe flex some time later on. Or, you know I have a doctor's appointment, so I'm going to like do this now and then like if you can do that with your job, then you do that. But when the expectation is to work 80 hours a week full tilt for the full 80 hours.
Yeah.
You gotta be about your mind.
Didn't we have a conversation when it came to like health and stuff? We were like, if your regular norm is at 100%, then you have nowhere to go. Like, and that's not healthy. You can't work at that output. No, it's not sustainable. Your regular needs to be like, maybe an average of 75 or something. Let's have a good solid C because C's still get degrees.
Well, it's also like you always like you level set expectations so that you can over deliver.
Yes.
Versus setting someone's expectations too high and under delivering. So, I mean, it makes sense.
I'm loving. I just saw Eva's thing of like I hold steady at 14%.
I remember MySpace. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is still there. But like, do you know anybody who uses MySpace?
You know what? This makes me feel better. That's a valid point, Eva. That when you have momentum already, it's good. I mean, we do it in writing. It's like, hey, this is a 20-minute sprint, but then sometimes we just keep on writing because it's like, I got to finish this sentence.
Things are going well. Don't mess up the flow.
Yeah, there's no hard fast rule that you must stop. Like I am a true believer in, kind of like I do emotional reading. I kind of do emotional writing, I guess too. It's like if I feel like writing. I do an initial push, but if like after a few sprints I'm still not feeling it, then yeah. Which reminds me, I got lots writing wise to do.
Yeah, I don't have the email that I used to set up my MySpace anymore, so I couldn't get back into it either. But I know it's out there.
I might not have my email either. I don't even think I had email. I think it was just a username password. It wasn't an email. Because
you must start is a good rule to follow with sprinting, but you must stop should be case by case. I like that.
Nice.
Good morning, Craft Blend. Hi, hello.
Hey, that is Heather. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, the only thing MySpace had going for it, in my opinion, was the like music on your page and stuff.
I had a killer playlist, and also MySpace was where I practiced HTML. Like I don't really use that anymore, but it was everyone kind of coded a little bit when you think about it.
Yeah, true. And it was kind of user friendly to kind of teach you what you had to do. Well, but also you had the instant feedback. Like, I'm going to try to put this background in, flip over, and like it's all jacked. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try to fix this.
Yeah. Or even like going in and like you find the background you want, but it's not the colors you want. So you go into the HTML code and you're like, I'm going to just beep, boop, beep, and you could change it.
I have this image in my head of the glitter stickers and stuff. Yeah. Actually, I believe the first...
Was that MSM?
Maybe. MSN Messenger? But also, yeah, like we're all dating ourselves right now. But I think the first viral video, if y'all remember, it was the CGI baby that was used in Ally McBeal, but played to the tune of I get this feeling, but it was the beginning of the beginning of it where it's like ooga chaka, ooga 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 chaka, and the baby's like dancing. And
Yeah.
I just remember everyone like sending that through the internet.
Glitter stickers and most emo of quotes. It was.
Oh,
it was. And your was it your top 3 or top 5?
I thought it was more than top 5. But I remember like it was a big deal to change and stuff. Oh. And then God, what else was there? Top 5 friends, by the way, if we didn't fully complete that thought for anybody who needed a trigger. But God, there was a like, and then now I'm remembering like AIM and stuff, and
That's funny.
all right, Kelly Wright. It's no idea how it came about, but that reminded me of MySpace too. About doing the Instagram close friends. That is true. I went through my Instagram and I have like, I think I selected 33, which is funny because it's not, I'll be honest, we're internet close friends. Like we're not close like with everybody. Chandra, I'm close. I call her and we chat way late into the night.
I was like, well, this is a harsh way to find out.
It becomes a philosophical discussion. Like we have entire like I would call it come to Jesus meetings, but come to whatever deity you worship meetings and stuff of like enlightenment. It's an enlightenment every time we go through these discussions. Either way,
sure. We should probably get started though.
Yes, we should. But
top 8.
Top 8, yes, thank you. But on IG, it is kind of nice because if something were to happen in my life and I wanted to let my friends know, or like the people I stream with, like those 33, I believe would get the word out and be like, yeah, Natalie's like going through some stuff or whatever. And it would be like understood why I'm not streaming or something. But that's if they check their stories, because I also check a lot of people, if you got more than one story, they're clicking through. They're not clicking through your story. They're clicking through the next person. I'm like, oh, I'm not important. Okay. You just saw the first story. You didn't see the subsequent ones. Okay.
Ooh, y'all, I got new glasses. I think I talked about them, but
I feel bad I didn't notice.
No, they're very like not loud.
Yeah.
Compared to my other ones. So yeah, I can see real good.
Oh, it's nice when you get new glasses. Like when you don't realize how bad you were suffering until you get them and you're like, oh, this is what vision looks like.
It was to the point where like I was driving at night and I was like, oh.
I hate driving at night anyways. I've become such an old lady.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I also like with my stigmatism, it's not ideal.
I found out I can never see 20/20, even with correction. And it's if anybody hasn't noticed in like my early videos, and I even have a video that says like, hey, why do my eyes shake? Because when I started doing videos, I noticed I could see it and I've never seen it because it's me. But my eyes shake like this. When I'm tired, pissed off. My husband found that one out. And there's like other times. It doesn't do it all the time, but at certain times. And because of that, my eyes won't fix on a point well enough to be able to see 20/20. So I will never be able to see it.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I probably won't ever be able to get PRK or LASIK or any of that because your eyes are supposed to be still.
Yeah.
Lasers going at it and my eyes can't.
I was talking to the lady who did my eye exam or like the first part of it, they do like the pressure test and all that stuff. And we were talking about like LASIK and PRK. And she was like, I think I know too much about LASIK to be able to get it. And she was like, well, do you know what they do for PRK? And I was like, no, I've never heard of this before. And then she told me, and I was like, I don't want that either. She was like, it's pretty barbaric. I'm not sure. It is.
We say that. What's funny is that there's early, going to historical fiction, there's early methods for taking care of things that are barbaric. That now we're like, there's a better, healthier way in technology. And I'm wondering, what is going to be the future of like eye surgery and stuff, like where we were like, oh, well, we used to do this. Like,
oh no, right now it's let me just exfoliate your eyeball.
Yeah. Well, and then there's the peel back the film and like sand it down and then put the film back.
Yeah. I can't. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah.
She said you have to be in a dark room for like 2 weeks.
So yeah, that sucks. So prompt number 1, a second chance. Maybe a second chance at seeing or something because you went through PRK or LASIK. The words to include are probation, turbine, pentagon, renew, flirt, mindful, dragonfly, lukewarm, which is always an interesting word. It's never super positive. Hoot and club. I like lukewarm because it's like on the same par as like mediocre and like these just, it is what it is. Like, God, I'm trying to think of if you ever saw The Good Place and you went and saw the episode where they went to purgatory and they had beer in purgatory, but it was room temperature.
Oh
yeah,
that's gross. Thank you, Eva. I do be liking them. It's nice to be able to see again. Ooh, my last eye exam was 5 years ago now. Oops. 2200 without my glasses or contacts back then. We'll see how it is now. Ma'am.
Oh.
I can't talk because before that I hadn't been in a while and my glasses broke and I just took them in and I was like, can you put these lenses in new frames? Thanks, bye. So I hadn't had those updated in a while.
Oh. Okay. Now fun. I gotta open up a new Word doc to add this. And but write out the prompt, it's there. This is our first one. And the second one will be the second prompt, by the way, will be really quick because it's a 250 word story that I just got an email with NYC Midnight, one of the places I like to submit to. And I got my prompt and everything. So I'll share it with y'all and y'all can word it with me. I just won't read mine out loud. So y'all ready?
Ready in 3, 2, and 1. No. I'm not done.
Neither
I'm
am I.
not done. I have
For anyone that saw, I changed locations because my husband had turned on the fireplace, and so I was writing by the fireplace for a little bit.
I
got like 2 words left, and I feel like I'm at the end, but I also don't know. It's hoot and pentagon. I'm trying to figure out how to put that in organically.
I'm missing club, and I know how I'm going to use it. I just haven't written that part.
Part yet. Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's a lot of things are references and becoming like metaphors and stuff, just the way I've written it. But we had a few people come in. Nia came in, and Kelly told a story about getting stabbed in the eye, the left eye, with a fork when she was younger. And it's affected her where her eyes get real light sensitive and the left eye is a bit weaker. Oh my god. Damn, dude.
First of all,
you'd never know.
Okay.
Huh? What?
The honestly, that's like, so that's something that my grandma always like threatened us with. Not that like in as far as like safety, everything she said was very extreme, and that was one of the examples that she used of like, if you run with a fork in your hand, you will stab yourself in the eye and you will die. And that was like everything she said about safety was and
you'll die
and you will die.
That makes me think about, I think it was a Mean Girls or something, or it could have been something else, but it was the sex ed teacher was like, and you're gonna get chlamydia and die, and like everything was, and you'll die. Like you're gonna get this.
Relatable. Also, Kelly, you get those words in there. Don't make me send you a strongly worded text.
She will use all caps.
Oh my god, Grandma who hurt you. I have questions. I really do, because she had no chill with anything.
I remember seeing a picture of a fork that punctured a child's nose, but like went through and came out, and it was like, this is why you don't run.
Oh my god.
Love you too. Bye.
That is terrifying. Wasn't ready the last time.
Oh, there was another time. Nice. What, did you happen to stumble across the internet and go, Kelly's supposed to be working?
No, we were talking, and we had a little check-in about progress.
And somebody wasn't there on their progress. Well,
though, Kelly is good when she like gets into it. She's like bam, 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 and gets the word out. Like, yeah, and they're good words too. That's the thing; they're good words.
Yes, Spencer.
I just put a quick little synopsis in at the end of what's supposed to happen in my story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna share an orange cat with you, and then I'm going to deposit him.
Later. Yes, later. All right. Dobby was, all right, let me just say, Dobby was totally like trying to get on camera and everything before we even went live. Like, he was like, my public is here. And Chandra's like, no, they're not. Like, stop trying.
So, Kelly, you cracked me up. Let's just say I thought I was being real cute, and apparently it wasn't that
cute. Nice.
I just know what you're capable of, Kelly. That's all. Dobby.
She expects better from you.
Why are you making this so hard for us?
All right.
He just yelled at me. I shared that with you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I'll copy.
Dobby, your people, see right here, they are saying hi to you. The golden tabby Tom is in my nano named King. Oh, you're a model. You're a model for a story. I hope you're happy with yourself, because look at those little murder mittens.
Oh,
He like
Okay.
doesn't even care right now. He's like, just aw,
hold me.
my finger. That's all you get.
The redheaded stepchild.
This is my wall of Dobby blocking.
Oh, that reminds me of a TikTok I saw, and it was like they kept on blocking this area, and the dog kept on jumping it over, and they stack more stuff up there. And they're like, "There's a better way," and then they just put the vacuum, and the dog did not pass. Like it was like good.
I wish that worked. They only get scared of it when it's turned on.
Yeah. All right.
Sometimes when I'm vacuuming, I do like just a little. Like, y'all are Dobby. Okay.
So my last line in this, my synopsis is somehow include Hoots and Pentagon. I've given up.
My synopsis is similar, so
I'm struggling saying synopsis, spelling it. Not. Yes, Spencer, what do you need?
I'm glad I trimmed his claws because he's
You're copying me.
Yes, I am copying you.
I need you to stop copying me.
Okay, I'll stop copying
everybody
you.
loves you. You can go somewhere and curl up in a ball and just think about how much everybody loves you. And that makes you curl up in a ball.
Later, okay? You're supposed to. I thought you're playing Spider-Man right now. So this boy is so extra. He has his Spider-Man costume, and so what he likes to do is put on the Spider-Man costume to play the Spider-Man video game.
That is so funny.
Like, it makes me think of like the depiction of someone who's like a super fan of like My Little Pony or whatever, and they just have it all. Oh my god. Here we go. Okay. I got
Ready to
my
share the screen?
Yeah, I will. Let me I forgot to write Natalie's story. It was just like pasted in there. Okay.
Oh.
So I will read yours first. He just threw his Spider-Man costume at me and said, I want you to put this on. In case the screen picked that up. Okay. He just did it. Dude, hold on.
All hail the feline overlords. Save us from the zombies. Are you going to save us from the zombies, or are you just going to... Okay.
Okay.
Did you know that orange cats get freckles on their lips and gums?
Oh. Interesting. I've had orange cats throughout the years.
Right. Nobody told me that, so...
And so when it came up, you're like, oh my god.
I was frantically Googling while I sat on my floor, kind of crying a little bit.
We're not dramatic. We don't think of worst case scenario.
I was.
Yeah, I've done that with like Stitch. Stitch has a crazy eye, and Stitch is the dog that also has seizures. Turn around, please. So I was sitting here going, oh my god, she has a brain tumor. It's pressing into her eye, and that's why it's swollen and stuff like that. But now we just give her eye cream drop things. Go play. But I was, and that's where my mind is going of like, what are we going to do? And then apparently Alex is the same way, because at this point, since now Stitch has her eye is the third eyelid, which I didn't know they had, is swelling up again. Well, it's not swelling up, but it is like encroaching into her eye. Mm-hmm. We were like, okay, what if she has to have her eye removed? And I'm just like, that would suck, but I mean, it's better than a tumor or something. And Alex, in his paranoia, researched how they remove dogs' eyes. And now he's like, He's like, this is how they do it. And explains it to me. I'm like, I didn't need to know that.
Like, there is such a thing as too much information sometimes.
Yeah.
Which for us writers, I feel like it's only when it's like really close to home that it's like I have too vivid of an imagination to know this kind of information when it really relates to real life. Like when it's in the hypothetical space, it's totally fine. Like, give me all the gory details.
Outside.
You see a ball outside?
No, bowl.
Bowl? Bird. Bird. Duh. Oh my god. And
No.
Lilo latches on the word bird and immediately runs to the window.
We had a female orange tabby named Marmalade, but she had a heart condition. Only 17% of orange tabbies are female because it is a trait that is linked to sex linked.
Oh my
I
god.
did not know that. Kind of like what are they called? The ones that are like white and brown and black.
Calico?
Thank you. Calicos are always female.
Oh my god, that actually makes so much sense because the orange cats that I've had through the years, they were males.
And thank you. I was like,
We got you.
Remember.
See, I can give you the name, whereas Kelly can spell it. In case you need that in this setting. She would have called out Calico probably faster than I did. But yeah.
Also, white cats with blue eyes tend to be deaf in the ear. Like if they have one blue eye and one brown eye, they'll be deaf in that ear on the side of the blue eye.
Oh. Yes, Spencer, what do you need? The dogs are not going outside. The reason they want to go outside is because they heard you say the word bird and they think that they can go out there and catch it. And one of these days they might actually catch one and I'll feel bad because I let them outside. So they're going to stay inside.
Dobby is sitting over here giving me the stank eye because I won't let him sit up here with me.
All right. Oh my god, we're talking about cats and luck
and wealth to their owners. Somebody tell Dobby. Just kidding.
By the way, if you haven't seen the movie, it's on Disney, not Disney. It's on Apple TV Plus. Luck. It's adorable. It's adorable and it's funny and it's great. I want to say it came out around like St. Patrick's Day or something.
And Natalie, you overestimate my ability to spell, Kelly said.
Yes, Spencer, what do you need? Because I got to read a story. This is not the moment. Go play your game. No, let Zoe have some breakfast before she... Speaking of breakfast, I'm going to grab some Pop-Tarts at the next break. Okay.
Yeah, breakfast sounds good.
All right, let's do the reading now. All right, here's Chandra's story as read by me. Being on probation wasn't really a second chance. She had been caught. There was no way out of that. Granted, the punishment was not as bad as it could have been, but still, they wouldn't want her working at the Pentagon. She took a break from staring at the stream. Time for a mindful walk. Dragonfly drifted by, which she took as a good omen. She got a feeling that somehow she had lost her connection. Everything felt lukewarm. The flowers didn't smell as fragrant, and the barista at the coffee shop didn't seem as friendly compared to his typical record as a precocious flirt. She had been doing something. Caught? It was hard to say. She couldn't remember what she had been on probation for and how she got to the park, but she wasn't there. She was at the coffee shop with the cup of Americano that she hadn't even tasted. The whole point of the walk was to be mindful, wasn't it? People around her were screaming. She looked around, trying to determine what the cause of the stir was. They were all looking at her, looking through her. She looked down at her clothes. Was there something on her shirt? But she wasn't wearing a shirt, nor was she wearing pants, shoes, or socks. She wasn't wearing anything, but she wasn't cold. She didn't feel as much as a breeze. Something flew toward her face, directed at the coffee cup, and knocked it from her hand. She grabbed it, snatching it from the mid-air fall before much of the coffee spilled. Some of the hot liquid spilled onto her hand. It didn't burn. It wasn't hot. It had been a purse. A woman had hit her coffee cup with a purse, and she was reeling it like a lasso. The woman took a deep inhale to renew her screaming. "What the hell is wrong with you?" she asked, but the woman didn't see her. She just kept screaming, along with everyone else. "Hey," a gentle voice said. "My name is Vanessa. What is your name?" She paused. There was a brief moment when she wasn't sure if she knew what her name was. My name... Oh, God, she said. Okay, Vanessa said. Just breathe with me. You're going to be okay. Vanessa took a slow, deep breath through her nose and breathed it out between pursed lips. Like this, she said, nodding her head. Think for a moment. Do you remember the last conversation you had with your mom? Yeah, she sniffed. Good. What did she say to you before she hung up the phone? Vanessa asked. She said, I love you, Marissa. Be careful. And I said, I always am. Vanessa nodded, but she didn't say anything. My name is Marissa, she said. That's good, Marissa. That's very good. I should call her, Marissa said. I'm not feeling so well. I've been foggy since I woke up this morning. Maybe she can come. Marissa patted around, looking for her phone, only belatedly realizing she wasn't dressed. She didn't have her purse. She didn't even know where it was. This is so embarrassing, she whimpered. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening. I'm sure everyone thinks this is a hoot. Her face felt odd. There were no tears. Her cheeks didn't burn. But her chest ached and her throat felt tight. Marissa, I'm here to tell you what happened, but I need you to stay calm with me. Can you do that? Vanessa asked. Marissa nodded. When you were breaking into the building, they didn't catch you. You fell. I fell? Marissa asked. I don't fall. Well, you did fall into the turbine in the industrial... What? And then she joins the 27 Club? What? Oh, 27 Club, meaning the club of people that die at the age of 27?
Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah. That's where I was going with that.
I did like this setup of like almost like Jason Bourne, but afterlife.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah,
yes.
like it's just Jason Bourne. He wasn't found naked. He was found in the water, fully clothed at least.
Yeah. Well, and I have a whole plan to like the fact that she's not wearing any clothes, like what that's caused by, and like all the things. I just didn't get to.
Well, and then I would wonder, like, if there would be marks on her body or something, as if, like, her soul had to be repaired. Oh, my God, I just got an idea for her story. like, kind of, so you know how Jacob Marley had the chains that he built throughout his life and stuff? Well, this is marks on your body that represent your soul in the afterlife. And like the people who are actually disfigured are the people who were internally ugly and stuff.
Ooh.
Like, but then, okay, now that is vilifying anybody who's disfigured. But then actually, no, it could work because this is talking about the soul. I don't want people to think that disfigured people are the evil. If anything, when in the afterlife, they become beautiful, but then that still pushes this stigma of like beauty is the goal, but the beauty is the internal soul. What people can't see is just visible
When
and
you
everything.
say disfigurement, though, what I'm thinking is like actual, like open, like gaping wounds, not.
Yes, like it's not like they lost an arm or anything, or they're in a or they like have a stub for legs or anything like that. It's like I'm imagining like it looks like they're Frankenstein, like their soul has had to repair it
They're
so many times.
they're like patched together. Well, I feel
Yes.
like the other thing though is that someone who does not have a limb may not consider themselves to be disfigured as well. So I don't think that's necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean
it would be something to have sensitivity
scarred.
readers for. Yeah.
Yeah, I would, but the goal is this is talking about the what is the outward appearance for someone being ugly on the inside their whole life and everything.
Yeah.
Like their personality, their character and such. Yes, Spencer, what you need?
Oh, I did not think about this. What Mama Maggie said. It sounds like she's having a traumatic brain injury moment or the aftermath of
Date rape, assault.
yeah, when the drug suddenly wears off and the woman has no idea how she got where she was, just that she was following her routine, felt groggy. Ooh,
Yeah.
I did not think about that.
There's also when after you're done having a seizure, there's like when you wake up, like you immediately want to like get up and move, but you're also having this like what happened moment, and that's why you're like, and you're also unstable because your muscles are still like what the fuck,
Yeah.
but it's because I know it happens with Stitch every time she has a seizure. Like I gotta be like, look at me, like I'm here, you're here, like just chill, lay down. I gotta try to keep her calm because otherwise she looks drunk if she tries to stand up and move around.
I had the same thing with a friend who had seizures and just, hey, you're okay, you're safe, you're at my house, you just had a seizure, stay lying down, you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of talking, just that's the biggest thing. She said was just like the awareness of like not necessarily knowing where she is. But Maggie, that's not the direction that I want it to go in.
Yeah.
I like the questioning, but I definitely don't want her to seem like that.
I like the idea of the readers guessing what happened. So I do want the reader's mind. I say I want it like I'm the writer, but I would say I want them to guess. Oh my God, was it a seizure? Was it a date rape? Was it like so I think it's good to have those guesses. Why do you want my phone, Spencer?
But I wouldn't want
it's too early.
The part with the like someone hitting her with the purse.
Like my thought was, I was thinking she was actually, there was a mass shooting or something, and everyone's screaming because her body's already on the floor, but this is her soul is above.
So, I don't think this part came through very clearly, just from what the speculation was, but that it's actually not her because they can't see her. She feels like that they can see her, but why everyone's freaking out is because they just see a coffee cup floating around. And
I didn't get that. And then
didn't make her a coffee. She just came in, has this like, vague sense of where she is, and she just picks up a coffee and walks off with it, and everyone just sees a coffee cup levitating around. So the lady who tries to hit the coffee cup with her purse, it freaks her out when she hits it. It starts to fall, and then someone like picks it up again, and it just keeps floating.
Oh, I did not get that at all, because I was also confused at the beginning of like, okay, she got in trouble at work, took a break staring at the screen, and she went on a walk, and I was like, wait, is she in a park? Wait, now she's in, like, it seemed like when you're in a dream and you walk like from your bedroom and you open the door and all of a sudden you're at school, like that, like jump. That's what it seemed like. And so it was really confusing of where the hell she was until finally it was like, it was like screaming grounded her to realize she was in a coffee shop, is what it seemed like.
Yes. And so the person who like comes to her, Vanessa, is already dead, and it's just like, hey,
so
I'm just
okay.
your local death support agent. But to your story idea, I like where that's going, and I think what Mama Maggie said, the Frankenstein monster-ish, to create that differentiation of like, no, this isn't something that could happen to a person, some kind of accidental injury or otherwise, something caused medically. This is like damage to your soul, and how does that visibly manifest? And it being in the more like Frankenstein monster type of thing, and like open, untreated, festering something or others that are visible of like, maybe this wound is shallow and relatively new versus that one has been there forever and is gross.
Yeah, I like that, like something that's precedingly taken. But then what is the issue is also, I would definitely need sensitivity readers, because the other idea is like, what else would be injured in this person? Would and I want to make sure that I don't have it like, because I'm making what is ugly on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have scars and stuff. And I was thinking of like, and maybe even burns or something.
So
but it's really hard to show soul crushing, because I'm thinking, what if she's bald? And I'm like, well, now I'm attacking the cancer community if going through chemo, if I make characters bald and stuff, or patchy hair, and
I think
or they have alopecia.
I think it depends on how it's done. And I mean, for sure there would be a lot of sensitivity readers needed for something like that, because I mean, I can't speak for anyone in those communities. I think it does depend on how it's done and what the intention is, and differentiating that's not what's wrong. Like, that's not what's wrong with them. I also think that the idea of, and I know that this is controversial, so I'll say that outright, but the idea that you don't necessarily what's the word? The word is gone, and I really need that specific word.
Depict.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. Yeah, just because it's like it's depicted that way, that doesn't mean something negative about that depiction or that person. Oh, but also making sure to incorporate redeeming qualities, and where
the characters.
Yeah,
because it would be like someone being ugly, and then can they repair their soul in the afterlife, is what I think the story would end up being.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like, so for me, this is something, an area of interest, and I know that a lot of people don't maybe like it or appreciate it, but I do like to look at villains or people who are considered like truly horrible people, and examine how they got to where they are. Like, they weren't born like when they were a baby, they weren't evil. So what happened? And maybe taking it from that perspective of that, even though they have these scars or these wounds and their soul seems damaged in some way, how they got there and what whole looks like. Maybe that's part of the moral of the story, regardless of
and it could be a back and forth where it's like, here they are in the afterlife, and then like flashbacks to their life of how the scars came. And actually, instead of having scars, like because we're talking about, I could really make this unique, and it's like even talking about like the different thread they use to repair the soul, and it's wrong. It's done like an amateur because they didn't do it properly. Because we are going to make mistakes. Everyone has scars and stuff, but the ones who don't learn from it are the ones that like repair it poorly. And it's like, and actually making it like, I like your idea of making it open wounds and stuff, of like maybe they use thread,
or maybe it's like the first time they're like patching, they're like using a knitting needle and burlap twine, and then as they get better, as they like learn themselves more, they maybe end up using like silk thread and a really like sharp needle or things along those lines.
Yeah. All right. We got ideas, and I'm going to have to write this down before I forget. I'm going to grab Pop-Tarts and Spencer some breakfast, but I can hear you if you want to read mine. And hopefully it doesn't take me too long, so I can keep scrolling.
I'm going to read through Mama Maggie's comments
first. Okay.
Let's see. Oh, so I have this is going back in time a little bit. I have a line of cats that is tabbies and calicos, still waiting to get a male calico. 5% chance if there are calicos for 2 generations on both sides of the lineage, i.e. both mothers and grandmothers. Sounds like maybe one day. Sounds like you got the logistics down, and I'd argue that's half the battle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Ooh, a yellow tabby with a single black and gray stripe on one paw. Okay, so now we're into the story. We were talking about the aftermath of SA, when the drug suddenly wears off and the woman has no idea where she was. Mama Maggie said, I did support for a woman whose attacker was kind enough to drop her off a block from her normal coffee shop, half dressed and with only $10 in her pocket to pay for her coffee.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I definitely do. I mean, that is horrible. And I don't want this story to be about that kind of trauma. I mean, y'all know how I write. It's not at all to say that I haven't written dark stuff like that. But I guess I wanted this story to be a little more focused on just kind of the awkwardness of the transition and
from what is afterlife look like and stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the Others aspect, the movie The Others with, I forget the people. I think Nicole Kidman is in it or something. Mm-hmm. But where the whole movie, and I'm going to ruin it for you, but it's been out for years. The whole movie, you think that the people that Nicole Kidman and her kids and the help see, you think they're the ghost. But the twist is actually Nicole Kidman and the kids are the ghost. And the other family is actually alive.
Oh. Yeah. And I guess that kind of more of the, I don't know if it could even be called humorous, but being able to focus more on the fact that people just see a floating coffee cup versus the speculation that something really horrible. I mean, yeah, it's not ideal what happened to her. It wouldn't want to fall into a turban, like not a good time, but to focus more on that side versus the other. So in that line, Mama Maggie said, put a line about seeing a reflection in the silvery back of the coffee machines. Oh, that's a good idea. So she like looks up and can see in like the chrome of the espresso machine, excuse me, that the coffee cup is floating and she can't see herself. That would be a good way to clarify that.
Yeah, and she could chalk it up to at first, or maybe like be staring at it and move it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or she chalks it up to be like, oh, it must be the angle. That's why I can't see it.
Well,
Even though I'm holding
if
it
she
in.
does, yeah, if she does that, then she could maybe even be looking at that when, Vanessa, when she hears Vanessa start talking to her, maybe when she couldn't remember her name, you can add that she suddenly felt like her pieces were slipping and sliding against each other, trying to fall apart again. That's a good idea. And then back to Natalie's idea, there are also wounded soldiers who are terribly scarred. Yeah, I think.
Very true. But I think if we go the route of open wounds or poorly patched together,
Mm-hmm.
that is less what is real world wounded.
Yeah,
And it's a little safer.
I wouldn't even just say safer. It's respectful and
Respectful, yeah.
and not trying to, like, because the intention of the story isn't to call someone out or associate someone's physical attributes,
Injuries and stuff.
injuries, attributes, and things like that with a negative stereotype. I think that's important. And like I said, when you initially expressed the idea, I was like, that sounds amazing. And then you were like, wait, but, and I was like, oh, that's true. Because I don't necessarily always think that way. So I appreciate you bringing that up and calling it out and suggesting ways to not create that association.
Yeah.
What if after she remembers her name, then she sees herself beyond the reflection in the floating cup and then really has a meltdown while Vanessa begs her not to fall apart again. Ooh.
Oh my God, saying not to fall apart again. That's like, what if this is a cycle?
Also, when you say that she starts having a meltdown, I'm thinking, so people saw the floating coffee cup. What if we take this like to the dark side where we already know she can move physical objects, right? What if now she starts throwing chairs and like flipping tables and like wrecking the coffee shop, but there's like still people there and they still can't see her or Vanessa and everything's just like flying around.
I love it.
Yep. Okay. That's what happens. Prompt number 2.
You still gotta read mine.
Oh yeah, I do. Oh my gosh, we are behind.
We'll be fine because prompt number 2 won't take too long. I can type it up while we're scrolling through here.
I was thinking about your story idea, and I was like, good, we got that settled. You're going to have to write that. We're all on the same page here. Natalie's story. The tuxedoed man held up his champagne flute as he said, to Gigi and Vivian. To Gigi and Vivian, the crowd echoed as they drank to the couple in white at the head of the table. The tuxedoed man leaned down and kissed one of the women on the cheek before sitting down himself. The woman he didn't kiss squeezed his hand as she stood up. The clapping died down as she spoke. For those of you that don't know, Vivian and I originally met when we were in middle school. And in case there was any confusion on where our sexuality was, we met in Diversity and Inclusion Club. The crowd laughed as Vivian shook her head in a chuckle. We were flirting with horrible fashion choices in those days rather than each other, like pairing a silk dress with rubber boots, Vivian chimed in. There is no picture proof of that, and if there were, it was raining that day. And if there was, it was raining that day, Vivian retorted. We didn't talk very much those days. I'm sure fashion choices were unrelated, but I was mindful that Vivian was special and as rare as seeing a dragonfly in water. She has always been so warm and inviting that she made lukewarm feel cold and standoffish. The woman shared a loving smile between them before Vivian continued. Flash forward to high school, where we were both on different sports and teams that kept us from interacting in a school of over 400 students in our grade. I'd like to call that a probation period, a punishment to ensure we'd never be apart again. Small chuckles rolled across the audience, but everyone was on the edge of their seats. In college, the place where we finally were able to start the turban that would become us, we also renewed our fashion sense. But I still argue that was unrelated to us finding each other again after dancing in circles around each other for years. Synopsis somehow include Hoot and Pentagon. So one thing, the metaphor about dragonfly and water, I feel like
that was winter. You said water, and I double checked, and it's winter.
Chandra cannot read, so I was like, that doesn't make no. I literally sat there too and was like, look, I was like, I don't get it.
Like I went back over and I was like, wait a second, I saw winter, and I'm like, nope, she just didn't read it right. It's fine.
She just can't read. It's okay. We can say it. And then I was a little confused too about the tuxedoed man, because is he between them? Where is he?
So I'll say like 2, and then like maybe he reaches across.
Yeah,
and then he kissed or something like that.
Yeah, I was confused about what was happening there. And I'm just assuming he's one of their dads.
Yeah, I didn't really decide. For me, I actually thought it was a clever way to have the setting and have the main characters' names to introduce, like, real quick, of like tuxedo guy saying that, and so you're immediately thinking probably a wedding and stuff. Like I thought I was just trying to be creative on setting.
I thought that was good, but I still had questions about where he was oriented and why he's the one giving the toast. That would be one thing if you can work that in, but that might be a place to add in Hoot, where he's talking about how maybe like they're a hoot or something, and then when let's see here, when Gigi is giving her part of the toast, maybe she says that something along the lines about like breaking into Vivian's heart was like trying to break into the Pentagon or something. I don't know.
I like that. And also though, the I had an idea of like people say, or it's said that people are like there's 2 sides of people, where there's 5 sides to Gigi. Like making a joke that she's so complex.
Yeah. And the part about being a hoot, I feel like that could be brought in by Tuxedoed Man in his speech.
So actually have his speech, because I was just trying to use it at the end and like that's this.
It doesn't have to be a full sentence. It could just be like, the pair of you are a real hoot to Gigi and Vivian. And he like it doesn't have to be the whole sentence.
Okay.
But it could be worked in there, or somewhere during the speech, someone from the crowd could heckle them with a comment that incorporates, or like, hi Tiffany, how are you?
Hey dear. I got that.
Oh, Mama Maggie says, I like the humor between the two. There's no picture. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I had fun with that one.
You can't prove it.
For me, I like the lineup. There's no picture, and by the way, it would have been raining that day. like there's like no I deny this, but I'm gonna defend myself at the same time.
So yeah, I like that one. The snaps. Honestly, though, the synopsis is really cracking me up.
The what?
The synopsis where it's like somehow include who Pentagon. But yeah, that's how I would. Add it in there. Dobby, can we not, please? Can we just take a break? He's purring so loud though,
Mm-hmm.
and he smells like laundry soap, which makes me think he's been sleeping in my clean clothes.
Oh, yay. Oh my gosh, I love the ideas that Mom Maggie's throwing. Another thing is that Gigi could have a habit of wearing rubber boots with odd outfits, like calling out like, "What about prom?" And then the retort of, "We live in Seattle."
That is funny. Fun fact: cat saliva contains a natural detergent.
That makes
they
sense.
don't smell funky. Like
that makes
bubbles?
complete sense. I mean, because they bathe themselves, like licking themselves and such.
Also, I feel like I have a cat hair in my eye now.
Ooh. Oh, I should probably.
This is fine. Yeah. Okay, so back to your other idea though. I feel like you should really write it.
Never mind the story you just spent 30 minutes on. We need to flesh out this other idea. No, no, it's completely fine because I was just thinking we do this where we like latch on to ideas and or stories, and there's always one story that we're like, I need more. I want to flesh this out more. This story is not as strong as some of my others. And it can't be strong. Just as we talked about with Twitter, everybody working at like 120% at all times being the standard, that's unrealistic. Same thing with writing. You're not going to learn from your writing if you don't write badly sometimes, or like, and it's not bad, but it's like not as strong, not as good, or, you know, or something. And this is why I do this when I've actually recorded myself doing flash fiction, and you and I do this naturally, but where we pull a line that we like, because this isn't all crap. We all like the interaction of like, hey, there's no picture, but if there was, it would have been raining.
This is also not crap, by the way. I just want to snatch you up before you try to sneak that one in there. It's just that I'm kind of obsessed with the other story idea. And to your point about working at 120% capacity all the time, I feel like this is our like baseline, but then you also get ideas that like bump you up to like 120%, and that's part of the flow, part of the process, because you wouldn't necessarily have gotten that idea if we weren't working on something else, which is why it's important to just write even if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Also, an enzyme, cat saliva also has an enzyme that kills pathogens, which is why cats are the cure for zombies. Ooh. Vivian could look at her affectionately and say something like, I knew it was love when Gigi shared her goulashes collection with me.
What
if they like hold up their feet and they're both wearing rubber boots under their dress?
Under their dress? I thought about that.
That would be so funny.
I would love it. I just thought that would be cute. Like, and maybe that's their something blue.
Oh, that'd be so cute.
Yeah.
Some days you are writing and it feels great and you feel good about the words on the page. Hell, maybe you have a favorite line, and other days writing to work the muscle is enough. Yeah.
And all my writing, I at least try to find a favorite line, because then that way that keeps me from going, it's horrible, it's crap, I suck. Like, if I can find something I did good or right or something, then I know I'm doing okay. But right now I'm writing down ideas, the souls patched in afterlife.
So, to what Eva was saying, the only way to give 120% is to leave yourself with a new 80% cap. You can't borrow from something that isn't there. do 120 for too long and you're in burnout. I 100% agree with that. And
Yeah.
I was reading something, I don't remember whose biography I was reading, or memoir maybe, but they were talking about you like taking time in their workday, like that's dedicated to thinking. Like that is the purpose. Like it's blocked off on their calendar to have think time. So yeah, sometimes working doesn't look like doing an action. It is the lack of action so that your brain has time to process and create ideas. It's why when you're getting stuck on something, it's good to step away and take a walk or go to a coffee shop and levitate a coffee. I'm sorry. I'm done. Ow. Yeah. Prompt number 2.
2. Got it. All right. So I joined NYC midnight and I got a prompt and I got like 15 hours, so I have to write this today. But my prompt is doing a 250 word flash of historical fiction. The action must be squeaking juice from a fruit. Oh, and I'll stop sharing so people don't see live right. Squeezing juice from a fruit. And the word to include is clog. So I don't know where I'm headed with this at all.
Like CLOG clog.
Yep.
I'm going to put this in chat.
Perfect. Yeah, squeezing juice from a fruit is the action. The genre is historical fiction. They had 5,439 writers participating in this, with 124 groups and approximately 44 writers per group. So I'm competing in my group. Yeah.
Sunday brunch disaster. Mama Maggie's idea.
I like that idea because I'm just imagining like it's a Sunday brunch and then like at someone's house and they have like little tea things and it's just like one thing after another. And because I originally historical fiction, I was thinking clog and I was like, oh, like the I forget which people, but the clogging, you know, where they have wooden shoes and stuff clog those things. I forget which people do that.
Oh, wait, I missed something in chat. Blue Duckies would be adorable title, and maybe the first gift from a rubber ducky store and those gift ball machines for kids. Now I kind of want to theme a party with blue rubber duckies and
Danish, maybe? Yeah.
touch grass.
I think it's Dutch. Yeah.
Ooh, family dinner, 1950s. Child wants to Dobby, stop trying to eat the electrical cords. No, sir.
Yeah.
So out we go. Yeah.
I heard that meow.
He's screaming at me because I said he can't eat the power cord, and I don't. Anyway.
I have a plan, woman.
Do you want to do a 20-minute sprint this time since we're a little behind and this is a shorter prompt?
Yeah, sure, we can.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Here the screen, and then I'm going to have to deal with this. He just headbutted my like scratch from trimming Piper's nails, so I love that.
Thanks, buddy. All right.
Okay. Here we go. 20 minutes in 3, 2, and 1.
took me a while, but I think I got a plan. What did you do? Did you kill a character? Are you on mute? I heard that you say no. I mean, I saw you say no. I didn't hear it. But...
249 words exactly.
Oh, I actually got just under that. It took me a while to think of something, but I got a good idea. It's 245. What, Spencer?
I'm not thinking of
No, what do you
I
mean?
like the little hand, like just poke it into frame.
movie, The Meg, because I really want to watch it. And listen, to buy it, it's only $10 to buy.
Oh my God, we're not buying The Meg. We've seen the movie.
I know. It's really
You may
good.
want to watch it. It's not. Whoa, it's not really good.
I watch it like forever.
Yeah, okay. And now Spencer's going, I want to watch it too. Okay, let me finish my live stream. Then we'll have a discussion about renting a movie or buying. Oh dear Lord. Okay.
So, there's one line that I wrote that I've been sitting here for the last 5 minutes trying to think about how to reframe without putting me over the word count, and I'm stuck on that. Ooh,
I forgot
wrote
about.
oatmeal
I
and
forgot
did some mom things and 2
Nice.
sentences in the draft. Now I want oatmeal. I actually made toaster strudels, so I need to get those in a minute.
I'm gonna have to go back through this and fix it because this is my imagery. So this mom is making lemonade like by hand, but this daughter is sitting down, and I decided I started doing some research. I found out the first women went to West Point in 1976. So I want this girl to be like, I'm going to join the military, like she did everything behind her mom's back. And I want this story of like, and hopefully this conveys, like it starts out with the mom saying, hey, like you see the girl, she says like, after I put the groceries up that I bought, I sit down and to have the conversation with mom. Mom's making her handmade lemonade. And as she's making it, she's kind of getting more pissed off. And so squeezing the lemons a little bit tighter. And the... Hold on, buddy. And then she's saying, like, I have aspirations. And the mother's like, of course you do. Marry rich, have the best parties and stuff like that. And it's like, no, mom. And the mom's like, well, how else are you going to take care of me and stuff? And it's like, I can still take care of you. I'm just not going to live through my husband's aspirations or my spouse's aspirations. And then I planned for her to go to like West Point. But I'm hoping that there's this beautiful metaphor of the mom is this like life sucking person. And so like, as she talks and she's squeezing the lemons, you also see she's been squeezing her daughter.
Ooh, I like that.
That's the metaphor I'm trying to go for. But
so when you were describing that, the imagery that popped into my head was the movie The Good Shepherd. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
Matt Damon, Angelina Jolie, Robert De Niro. As I recall, it was good. But with the imagery of like the expectations of what her life should be, that's what popped into my head.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
well,
Mom, is that you?
The thing that I love, one line that I love in here, is like the girl says, hey, I know what I want to do. And the mom's like, oh, for dinner, great, because I didn't feel like cooking tonight. Like that's how it starts. And so I'm hoping it's conveyed like she relies on her daughter and she's hoping her daughter will like take care and stuff like that. And
yeah, if you want some of that imagery, you should. I know this is a lot of work in 15 hours for a 250 word story.
Yeah, considering I'm at 245 and I haven't even had her tell her mom yet, hey, I'm going to West Point.
Oh.
And I also need to make it set in the 70s, and I'm trying to figure out how to make it set in the 70s.
What Kelly said. My mom's too passive for that shit, but the imagery is real good. nasty codependence. Yes, the codependence piece is real.
Yeah, like, because everyone was talking, what sparked me, I think it was just Eva saying, like, the kid is living on their own and the parents are, like, just not impressed at all. And I was like, oh, what if the kid is trying to go out on their own and the parent is, like, holding them back and stuff? Like,
if you want to talk about that, I got some story ideas.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I mean, of course, you can ask me anything. But
yes.
I think with your current word count, ideas is not the problem.
Yeah, it's I gotta condense it, and and
one idea though, does your story title count towards your word count?
No,
because you can still kind of use your title then to like
paint. I could, the story title could be Squeezed Like a Lemon.
Yeah. Like you could make it answer some of the questions kind of.
Yeah.
Or like give it a title so that when you finish reading the story, the title makes even more sense.
I gotta sneeze. But I figured I'd share y'all with an idea of where I'm headed. Not really sure, since technically I don't want to share it in total because it could be published.
So mine is dark.
What? No.
But nobody. Well, somebody is dead, but nobody dies.
They died off page before it started. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Let me share the screen. I'm assuming you did it in the same Google Doc.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is Chandra's story, and we still got time. It wasn't just the clog in the shower. It was squeezing juice from a rotted fruit. The flies kept appearing in the corners of the windows, and the dead animals that burrowed up from the earth in the yard. Bread molded on the counter the day it was brought home from the store. Food rotted in the fridge in a day or two. There was a smell of death in the air, something putrid and something else that she had never smelled before. She couldn't put words on it, but much of the time it left her feeling sick. Her stomach rolled as if she'd eaten something bad, and even water smelled acid. Acrid, sorry. Her sleep was wakeful and plagued by dreams. She tried to take care of herself, but the task seemed impossible. At first, the signs had seemed random. It took her a while to realize they were all pointing to something. True, all the drains in the house had begun to clog, and the roots and hair tangled in the sewer line that ran across the property. But they all pointed to the south corner of the lot. The flies gathered in the window on the south side of the house. The burrows of animals all pointed south. And when they dug to the surface, their noses still pointed at the old gravestone that stood under the willow at the south end of the property. Everyone said that was where the true witch of Salem was buried. Ooh. That's interesting. I would imagine they would be like going away from it, not towards it. But that's like my idea of it.
Mm-hmm. The line that I struggled with, though, is it was squeezing juice from a rotted fruit. Because I don't want, like, why would you be juicing a rotted fruit? But I was thinking more of, like, everything in that area is so, like, putrid that she's juicing, like, a fresh fruit, and the juice is rotting before it hits the bowl.
Okay.
And I'm having a hard time with that wording.
Yeah, so it would be, especially with the...
I feel like it's going to hit me. I'm just going to be like laying in bed and I'm going to...
Yeah. I got to get up right now. Or you're going to be talking to like other people and be like, wait, I got to put you on hold. I'll call you back or whatever.
Yeah. But like that's the line that I know it
Yeah,
needs
because
to
I
be
didn't get.
somehow.
That's what I was thinking too. Of like, why is she squeezing fruit? Yeah. So.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to play with that one, Mama Maggie. Mine ran away and became 430 words. Is mood.
Yeah.
Maybe
I just thought
maybe
of
that's what
ways
I'll
to
have to
make
do.
mine better and shorter. My mind's still running with this. Or anything. I just got to yeah. I got to figure out I got to get it done so then I can send it to you to read.
Yeah.
And then and figure out who else can read it too, maybe, so that I can send this off in time. Maybe get somewhere with it.
You got this. I believe in you.
Somewhere, somehow. But yeah, that's really the only thing, because I was like, why are you squeezing it? But I mean, if we play in other areas, the key is, and I've always enjoyed doing this, is to come back to it later. Not later that day, but like a few days and stuff, with a note at the bottom of, I want to fix this.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna highlight that line so that I remember. And maybe I'll just like highlight it and then write a note at the end so I know where I was going with this.
Yeah. Mom Maggie was like, there's way too much Art Deco stuff to describe. I still got to figure out how I'm going to make this the 70s without saying it's 76. Like being like the kid.
Say something about the shag carpet.
Yeah, I could do that.
Oh, what about something along the lines of when she pressed the orange in the citrus juicer, I feel like I'm gonna say juice like 84 times in the sentence.
Yeah. So like she cut, say, like, because usually it's cut in half. She cut the fresh orange. And press the core against the juicer she quickly pressed the core against the juicer, or press the core against the whatever this thing is that you put it on.
I'm Googling, hold on.
I bet there's a word for it. Yeah. And then she pressed it against it, quickly pressed it against it. So like where she's trying to like beat the rot, but the smell of maybe this kind of gives it a magical sense, but like the smell of rot hit her nose as the orange turned brown or something like that. That way you know it's an instantaneous thing. Almost.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do research about the parts of a citrus juicer.
Yeah. The things we do. I was in a little, it was not a meeting, it was kind of like a little chat or whatever. And oh my God, someone recommended, there was books recommended, and they were like, man, y'all are weird. And I was like, what does that say about me? Because I want both of those books. But we were talking about getting rid of bodies or something somehow. And I was like, listen, I was like, I'm a writer. We kind of discussed this stuff. And they were like, for your writing. And I was like, listen, worry about the writers who don't have to look things up, okay? I'm not ashamed of my internet search history.
That is so funny and so true.
Yeah. I was like,
Tiffany has an idea here. Can you do in the description of the clothes they're wearing? I think that's good.
Oh.
And Maggie said, mention corduroy. Everything seemed to be made of that in the 1970s. Not that I have experience or trauma from wearing it in the summer in Texas and melting.
And melting. Oh, great idea.
I like
Ooh, maybe
it.
the juice flies back, splashes on her skirt. That's a good one.
Mm.
And such. Where was I had? Oh, right. Okay, two stories. One is, I think it's like we don't even know, or we have no idea, or something like that. And it is exploring physics of like what we know and what we don't know. So it does a good explanation. The guy was saying of like explaining atoms, quartz, and like things that you may have heard before. From science class and stuff, but it also explores more of what we don't know in regarding physics and everything. And I found that interesting. The other one, even more interesting, and I forget what it's called. I think the word jawbone is at the end or something like that. But it is a story that's like a logic puzzle where you got to guess who's done it, but it's like 100 pages and the pages are out of order. So you're reading it, trying to put it in order and determine who the killer is, motive, and all that. And I was like, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to like text the guy and be like, hey, what was that book again? Because he was trying to play it cool, be like, yeah, I'm only like 10 pages in and stuff. I don't know. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I can try to work on that in one day.
I like this idea too.
Oh, having the song play in the background. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but all the rebellious songs I'm thinking of is like 80s. Like Cherry Bomb by The Runaways. I think that's what she did. Joan Jett.
I found out it's called a reamer. So she placed the core on the reamer. I don't know if anyone's going to know what that means, but it's not my problem. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, at least you're not saying you're reaming the, because there's a sexual connotation of that. Did you not think of that? Because once you said reamer, my mind went directly there.
No. But, you know, I don't know if I've told this story before, but I worked on like a newsletter at one of my jobs, and we had a group picture, and yeah, I didn't look at the picture. I didn't take the picture. I just sent it to my manager, and she looked at it and she was like, "Did you take this picture?" And I was like, "No, why? What's wrong with it?" And she was like, "We can't use this." And I was like, "Why? What happened?" She was like, "Have you seen it?" I was like, "No." She pulls it up, and I'm like, "Oh no. Oh no, we can't use it." And it was like the entire front row was women, and there was like two guys on the end, and then right in front of them there were two like snowmen, but like strategically placed. And it was one of those things, you have to have some like a really prudish person,
yeah,
a really pervy person, and then like a normal person look at everything before you publish it, because like someone's always gonna pick up on.
We've had this conversation before where I like typed something innocent, and like it might have been you and Barrett both were like, "No, honey."
It always comes back around. It's funny when it happens to me, because I did not think about that at all.
When I was in Germany, my landlord sent a picture, Happy Halloween, and at first glance it looked like a jack-o'-lantern, like completely black, but I saw two triangles, and then like a like the mouth like had a dip down for like a tooth, and then like a middle tooth, and then a dip down for another tooth to make the mouth. It looked a little weird because like the middle tooth was kind of skinny or something. It was a silhouette of a girl sitting down, and that middle tooth was phallic.
Oh.
Yeah, and the eyes was actually her legs. The under part of the top of her legs was the bottom of the eyes, and the arms made the triangles sitting down.
So you know what though?
And my landlord sent me that, and I didn't realize that. And it was a few days later. She's like, "I'm so sorry." I didn't respond, but that's just because I'm weird about like happy. Or I might have said you too or something like that, but I kind of kept it neutral.
Yeah.
And then later she was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "It's fine. I didn't notice." Honestly, my husband pointed it out to me.
That is so funny. She could not clip the picture because the front row were like all squatted down. So it would have cut like half the faces out.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the read. Is this submission on screen? So this is mine because I'm not submitting, but Natalie talked through the idea that she had for hers and kind of the general direction she's going in.
Yeah. Don't worry, Josiva. You might be on the list of people to review this. 250 words. So.
All of that being said, it is now 10:56, so I'm gonna have to skedaddle.
Yeah. So we will see y'all on my channel next week. Next Saturday after Thanksgiving. And yeah. That's all.
Right.
And then that just means we're that much closer to the 10-hour stream on the 10th.
I
12-hour stream on the 10th.
Yeah. I only have 2 weeks left of school.
Yay!
So I'm very excited.
Yeah. We got to talk more about that too, about school, because I know there was all craziness with instructors and stuff.
Yes. Oh no, I had the thing I had with the class where it all got messed up. I sent him an email and he was like, "Send me your number," and he called me back and we talked it out and he was like, "Okay, no, that makes sense," and he was able to like, it was just wires got crossed. He fixed everything.
Oh, bless him. If only the biology teacher could be that nice.
You know, we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah. All right. So bye everybody. My channel next week. And hey, if this 250 flash doesn't get picked up, you know it's going to get thrown up on my website. So
yep.
All right. Bye, dears.
Bye.